I'm Mr. Gorgeous, and we're spending the day with Sam Fine at the Illimaster store in Beach Street. Why did Sam Fine get into makeup? And also, do you feel like it's a gift, or can you be taught?
I got into makeup as a fluke. I mean, actually, I've always drawn, I've been artistic my whole life, and I went to New York to go to school, and I never made it because I worked at a cosmetic counter, and one thing led to another. All my friends just kept saying, you really have a good hand at this, and you should really give it a try. So I started assisting top makeup artist Fran Cooper. She introduced me to Kevin Aquan, and the next thing I knew, Naomi Campbell was calling me behind the cosmetic counter to ask me to work on a job because we had met at a fashion show and she had watched me work. So I always tell people, you know, everyone's always watching you, no matter what you do. You're always an example of excellence, or at least you should be. Do I think that makeup can be taught, or is it something that you have a gift for? I think it's a little of both. Makeup, like cooking, is very technical. At the end of the day, you have to start out with foundation. You have to start out with concealer. They're very clear pieces. You cannot cook without something to make cake rise. You have to add eggs. You have to. I mean, there's really kind of no way around certain things. But the artistry cannot be taught. It's like we all learn how to sign our names and learn how to write in cursive, yet our signatures are so different. Yeah. And I think that's very true to makeup, in that, yes, you can teach someone to write, but you cannot teach them the flair that artistry provides, that comes from within.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've just had the makeup masterclass at Illimaster. Now, yes. From your eyes, how brilliant was that? Like, for mine, it was just amazing. You know, I teach a lot, and I enjoy teaching. I do. And for my first class in London, for it to be a master class with 12, 13 students, it was very intimate. And it's wonderful because you get a chance to speak to people who have just started doing makeup, yeah, to people who are freelance veterans who really want to learn a new way or a new approach to beauty, or just see, you know, how I do things. And so it was really wonderful, and I feel very connected. I don't feel like a celebrity makeup artist when I do a class. I feel like a contemporary, like I'm really talking to people like myself who are, you know, in an industry wanting to do great things and just wanting to learn. Well, so, you really engaged the crowd, and it wasn't just like a, you know, it's a school. Mm-hmm. It was like, you mentioned no rules in terms of no rules in yes. makeup. There was no rules in the class in terms of just kind of listen and understand and have your own feel on it as a client, like looking in on the class. I think many people who come from school, who take makeup classes or who read books, begin to think in one way. Well, I've heard that you should do it this way. Well, I've heard that if you do it this and then you do that. Well, you have to, makeup is trial and error. Yeah. So I do think that there are some things that make sense, and there are some things that will lead you to a better result. But ultimately, like any cookbook, you follow the instructions, and then you learn to add your own seasoning. And so most of my classes are really to help people understand how to think for themselves as artists. Artistry doesn't have any rules or regulations. There are some things that will make more common sense. If you want to be matte, if you're dealing with aged skin, if you're dealing with discoloration, there are ways to go about dealing with that. And so I have a very common sense approach to beauty. And we're gonna, talk about that more in my second class tomorrow, where I speak to more of the masses, because this was a very special, very specific class. Right. But the one tomorrow, I might have a woman who's just looking to learn how to be a better, make a better face for herself, and she's not a makeup artist. So I speak to very varying degrees of artistry, and so I try to leave them with encouraging words, not just
just do it my way. I'm not trying to make more Sam Fine clones. I'm trying to help them to get their hand to a place in which they enjoy and can work every day as a freelance makeup artist.
On a personal level, who is Sam Fine and what does he stand for as a man? And what do you stand for when you're not doing makeup?
You know, having fallen into makeup and really having dedicated my career to women of color has changed the way that I live, really. Having started out, I worked with Nikki Taylor and CoverGirl. I have Paris L'Officiel covers with, you know, Caucasian models. I have Cosmo covers with white models. And so many people think, you know, ask, you know, well, do you do, you know, white models? Like, yeah, makeup's makeup for me. And if you're an artist, you can really address anyone's beauty. And if you can do a woman of color, you can do anyone. Because they're varying tones and there's very different translation to make things look like everyone else. When you talk about nude lipsticks, finding that and defining things against brown skin. So, you know, makeup is very political, and having kind of dedicated my career to beautifying women of color has made me very political. And having been the first African-American spokesperson for both CoverGirl and Revlon has changed the way that I see our vision. You know, I hope I have been able to add a spin on our beauty, on black beauty, by working with Vanessa Williams and Iman and Tyra and Naomi, because being able to show many women of color how beautiful we can be when you are with an artist who knows how to properly address your beauty. And I think that has taken me to different levels of learning and feeling purposeful in life. You know, when I think about work now, I think about my legacy. I think about a book that will speak in an affirming tone to our beauty. I think about my DVD that teaches the basics of beauty, that speaks to real women and how they're going to replay this for generations to come, and have these books to look at and how they can feel like, wow, a whole book that I can look at that doesn't just show one or two models to represent my beauty, but a whole book that says I'm beautiful in whatever hair texture, whatever nose I have, whatever skin tone I am. So life is very political for me, and beauty has helped me to see it that way. And so I work very hard not to just have beautiful work, because I think people look at makeup as being very frivolous, but beauty is a very emotional purchase, and it's a very political issue, and it's a billion-dollar business, and black people spend a disproportionate amount of money on beauty. So when you know that, you learn to take things very seriously. So I'm very serious about beauty, and it has changed the way my outlook has changed, you know, and how I speak to women and how I move forward in my life as a makeup artist.
You have a fine technique in the way you do things, excuse the pun. So you have a fine technique in the way you do things. How important is technique in terms of a makeup artist sharing the knowledge with others? And also, what are your top makeup tips?
You know, I always call it fine-tuning, and I don't say that because that's my last name. I say it's fine-tuning because fine-tuning sharpens everything. So whether it's my brows that I'm known for, whether it's a lip liner, whether it's contour that's so effortlessly blended, those are techniques and things that I think that every artist should practice, and practice makes perfect. And if I'm an example of excellence, then that makes me just work that much harder to be an example to other artists through my work and through classes, and hopefully through the classes like this, you know, being my first in London thanks to Minx, and my second tomorrow. Hopefully the students will walk away with a different understanding of how to spend 5 or 10 more minutes on their makeup to sharpen the skills, sharpen their skill set, to shop for new products and look for bronzers and cream foundations that will really help to make the complexion more flawless, and understand that they can have exactly what their celebrities on the red carpet have. And it's not just me and it's not just them, but it's us.
Gorgeous. It's been a gorgeous time.
Thank you. Thank you, Pat.
Have a gorgeous day.
Thank you. Hey, I'm spending some time with David Gorgeous.